What is up,
This is a great
everybody? I
start.
am having a
Amazing.
coughing
Yeah.
fit as we get onto the live. This is the Football Boot Hour with me, James, here on the Boot Wizard channel, and of course, joined by my regular co-host, Andrew, from the Lockhart Boot blog. This week, we will be talking about the Mizuno Innovation Pack. We didn't speak about it last week because we were discussing all things Uno Zero. We had the the founder, of Uno Zero on, which was very cool. So we pushed this one to this week. Andrew has all of the boots in hand, too?
No, I've got two.
Two. Okay, two.
Yeah,
I've overstated.
No. I thought about ordering everything, then decided not to.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Andrew has two of the boots in hand. He's going to give us a breakdown of what it is. And honestly, the majority of this podcast is going to be Andrew telling you stuff and me going,
But James, you don't want to review the Alpha with the Neo Soul plate?
No, I don't. I have absolutely no intention of reviewing that because I don't love the Alpha 2 anyway. It's fine. Like it's a fine boot. I don't love it. And to take away the outsole, which I like quite a lot, makes me I'm just going to like the boot less. Like I'm just going to review a boot that I know I'm going to like less and that I don't really want. Like it's I don't
Footloose
care
was
enough.
saying the same thing. Like it's 10% less of a boot.
Yeah. Absolutely. Clippy's Collection is in the house. Welcome, sir. And Billy has also joined us. Billy, who is not only here via notifications, not only a member, Billy has a shiny new Boot Wizard little logo down there, which is a different color because Billy has now been a member of the channel for 6 months. Thank you very much, Billy. Let's go. So, before we get into the Mizuno proper, we should probably jump into the couple of new releases that we've had. I feel so much like I've forgotten something because I only found 2. And I'm like, surely not.
It's only been 2.
So let's go through the 2 I've got and we'll see if you can think of anything else.
Yeah.
So the first one is this one here. So this is the 11 Team Sport Puma Ultra. So this is a special edition just for them. But I believe comes in the Carbon and Ultra versions, so you can get both. I really like this. I think it's very nice. I think that it's got the standard problem of why another one? We've had 8 billion Puma releases. But as far as a colorway goes, having that kind of white mesh over the top of the color underneath, I think this is quite nice.
It's a good idea, but the fact they've done so many white colorways already, and this kind of stands in stark contrast to what PDS has been doing with their F1 ones. I think
it is almost the exact opposite.
Yeah, for me, like this is a good colorway, but for me, it's boring now considering what PDS has been doing.
That's fair. I think that's fair. So interestingly, there's a slight tangent here, but related. I ordered the PDS Miami Ultra.
Of course you did.
But so there's method to my madness, right? So ProDirect have just launched PDL or ProDirect Soccer, ProDirect Sport.ie, so an Irish site. Now it's not based in Ireland, but I was like, okay, I'm going to actually make a video on the Irish site and like what it's like and, what can I get and things like that. And I was like, okay, a first good place to start with that would be a ProDirect exclusive boot. So the Miami ones made sense. So I ordered them.
The Japan ones actually made sense, not the Miami.
I ordered them with the full intention of, there is a full intention of sending them back as well, because I want to do the whole process, like what the returns, everything. We've already hit a snag. So I ordered them, and I ordered them with, you get to select like your shipping, like in 5 days, 3 days, next day, something like that. So I ordered them on like the middle option, which I think was like 3-day shipping, which meant that they should have arrived on Wednesday.
And
it's now Friday, and they're not here. And the tracking itself from ProDirect said they should have arrived today. So it was like, they will arrive by end of day today. But if you go through to UPS, who are actually delivering them, they say they're not going to arrive until next Friday. So it's not a great start, if I'm being honest with you. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. There will be a video literally tracking the whole thing and,
Mm-hmm.
does it work? Is it any good? I also have a horrible feeling that the returns is going to be an absolute balls
Mm-hmm.
because they're not like they don't say on their site which sites have free returns and which don't. And I assumed Ireland wouldn't, but then I've seen where the boots are coming from. So they're coming out of their Czech facility. So I reckon that I'm going to have to send them back there.
Mm-hmm.
And I reckon that they're not going to cover any of the cost for that. So that's going to be fun as well. Anyway, let's rank these, shall we? Which I could get and send back to Germany for less money than an Irish website. Are these good or are they meh for
Meh. Meh.
meh? Okay,
They're
I'm
only
okay
in
with
meh
that.
because the colorway is pretty decent. But it just,
Yeah,
like, if they hadn't been releasing all this other stuff this year, I'd be like, oh wow, these are really nice. But the fact that we've gotten all the F1 stuff, it's like,
yeah. No, I completely see that. Matt is in the house, has joined us in the chat. Thank you very much, Matt. I don't think I've spoken to you today, Matt, which is weird for a Friday.
yeah.
I've normally had a full blown conversation with you by this point. Matt says he keeps requesting a carbon MG sole plate, but Puma won't respond to my emails.
Oh,
That would be
that's weird.
wild. Oh no, that's last week. Hold
That's
on,
last week.
that is last week. Let's try this one
That's
instead.
that's this week.
So yeah, this is the only other release that I could find, which was a pink Veralto. Welcome to tell me I've forgotten something, but that is all I could find. I will admit I have been less active on the old socials this week. I've been very, very busy, so I haven't really been keeping up quite as much as I normally would, which is to an obsessive amount. But this is all I got. So I had this pink Veralto. Feel free to correct me, and I will attempt to find something else.
I'm checking right now. I'm checking my stories archive. Lots
Which
of
is
stuff
exactly
on
how I do it.
Peritz's beautiful gold
Oh yeah,
Yadigar shoe.
go and check out Pedro. It's Perid's his Yadigar shoes in gold. They're absolutely incredible.
We got a Japan release.
What did we get?
There is a new Hummel Verart, sorry, which is their K-leather boot with a Denmark one.
Can confirm, absolutely did not see these.
Yes, and it's okay. I know you don't watch my stories.
I do watch your stories.
Those have like a city skyline on them.
Those are very cool. That's very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that is it.
That's it. Okay.
It's amazing
fair
for
enough.
how much shit is releasing right now that we did not. Yeah, there hasn't been anything.
It is. I still think it's mad that this is like a light week and we still got like a release. You know what I mean? Like there should be weeks where there is just nothing. Like that just should be.
Somebody in the chat was saying like Puma's single-handedly keeping the
yeah, I think that might have been Footloose Boots. That might have been Andrew.
It's just it's unbelievable, really.
Oh dear. Front Post has joined us in the chat. Congratulations on getting your milestone this week as well, Front Post.
Yeah, nice.
And go and check out that IG. Rich has joined us. Gold Yatagara shoes on my wish list. Hell yes. I was Clippy that was saying that that we'd always have something to talk about because of Puma.
Yeah. So, I guess real quickly, I'm gonna get on my soapbox.
Soapbox present. Everybody up and on. I will join you.
So basically, the UK Supreme Court has decided that transgender women aren't women, and that because of that, the FA has now banned them in sport, and it affects 30 women in total. And I've noticed a lot of these, a lot of the Instagram pages that are for women's football in the UK have come out against this decision, which I agree with. It's, I think it's a terrible decision, and it's doing nothing to protect women because, like we were talking before the pod, there's a lot of abuse in the women's game that doesn't have a spotlight put on it. They're only just now doing a study on ACL injuries and stuff, and FIFA's finally getting involved. and like, they're so far behind on so many women's issues, and yet, this culture war red meat is what they're going after instead of, you know, the fact that we have actual rapists playing men's football and they're celebrated. And so it is really rich coming from people saying they care about women and then they, you know, harass a minority rather than, focus on the bigger issues. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Like, I don't want to turn this into a full soapbox rant, etc. Obviously, that's not necessarily what we do. But at the same time, it's a big enough thing that I think it's at the point where you have to you have to say something. You have to come out and basically say that we as a podcast and as a people, we disagree with this. We disagree with the
Wholeheartedly.
with the decision that's been made, both the Supreme Court one and the one by the FA. That is our stance as a podcast and as a people.
It is.
I think that's important.
Say, it is interesting that they've come against transgender women in sport, not transgender men. Nice.
Am I still here? Can you hear? Oh no,
yeah.
It's all right. I'm here.
Yeah. So, if it's about unfairness, which unfairness in sport has always existed, I'm sorry. That's just how it is. And this is going to harm cis women as well, because that's how it is. The boomerang always comes back around and harms, cis women. But yeah, they don't talk about cisgender men playing football and men's football. It's because they don't care. I saw something and it was pretty clear. Like, this is how I know trans women are women. It's because people are extremely misogynistic against them. And they think they can get away with it. So, yeah, that's our piece.
That is indeed. That's our piece. That's where we're at with that. And yeah, we will move on. It's a difficult, obviously, transition from that to that, but it's in, sometimes it is important that certain things are addressed. You can't stay silent. So what we will try and do is, do you have do you have a what you've been wearing this week, or is that your Mizunos?
Yes, yeah, that is my Mizunos.
Okay, so in which case I'll go first.
I'm actually on topic, yeah.
So I'll go first because I did get something in this week, and then we'll go straight into the Mizunos.
Yeah.
So these will be there'll be a full unboxing of these going up on the channel very, very soon. Obviously, members will get it first. As if the members aren't tired of advanced content. My members just got an absolute deluge of advanced content today.
You can see it on your page. What the hell? You can see it on your page as well.
Members.
Yeah. It's like...
That'll keep you busy, guys.
Yeah.
But this is what I got. So I got the Furon.
Nice.
These are fantastic. They've got a little bit of like a sheen to them, a little bit of a kind of almost reflective element to them, which some of the other colorways don't have, which I think is really, really nice. It's a wonderful colorway. Everything kind of works together really, really nicely. And I don't want to dwell on them for too long. We'll get into the Mizunos, but what I did do here is I've gone for what you would consider like true to size, which is kind of the US 8 at 26 centimeters, 260 millimeters, as against what I did with the pair that I reviewed, where I went half a size up. So my thoughts are that to get the best performance, you should absolutely go for the true to size, and the true to size is not nearly as tight as the previous generation. I think the majority of people who want like that kind of speed boot fit would be very happy in a true to size version of this. Don't go up half. The exception is if you have a wide foot, you can go up half, get away with it. It's not a big deal, and you'll get a comfortable fit through the boot. But yeah, that's my piece on those, and I adore this colorway, and I think it's a boot that the more I use, the more I like. It's kind of like really come into its own of like, oh, this might be I liked it in the review, but it might be a little bit of a slow burn where I'm like, actually, this is gonna creep its way up my list of uses. But yeah, nice boots.
Nice. I'm gonna try front post first off talking about the 2010 F50 out of 0 as if we don't know what's coming. He's just reminiscing about it earlier, just randomly. It came to me, no reason why.
We will switch to a members only chat for maybe 10 to 20 minutes at the end of the pod. So if you want to discuss anything that, we don't talk leaks on the podcast, but once we switch to members only, we will talk leaks. So if you want to talk leaks or anything like that, we'll do that at the end of the pod with the members.
Gutted it wasn't the Dream Chaser. Well, I'm going to try and get the Dream Chaser. So I'm going to have to ask for an assist from Unisport again, because just like these, which I had to get an assist from Unisport on, it's only available at Unisport, so I need their help anyways. But they don't ship here.
Yeah.
At all. So I have to make an exception. Or they have to make an exception for me to get their stuff. So
I think you're a special case. It's fine.
I'm special.
Matt's getting his money's worth on the old subscription there.
Yeah, y'all absolutely are.
Absolutely at the moment. And I suppose with that, we should move on to what you've been wearing, which is also the topic of the week, which is quite simply the Mizuno's. So I suppose we should do a little recap of what it is that dropped, I suppose. So we got I'll do the recap and then I'll pass it over to you. So we got the Mizuno Innovation Pack. As I say, we didn't cover it last week because we were chatting with Uno Zero. And we got let's see if I can do this again, a Wagyu leather Morelia 2, a Morelia Neo 4 upper on an Alpha sole plate, an Alpha 2 upper on a Morelia Neo sole plate, the Morelia Proto, which is the K leather Morelia on an AG outsole. That's about right. And then there was also the Monocedia, which was the Japan only takedown model, which is also a K leather option.
And made in Japan.
Yes. And made in Japan.
Because they're not made in Japan right now.
Jeepers. So that's what we got. If you caught up with that, Andrew has the boots. My good man, take it away and tell us about them, please.
So first, I've got a bone to pick with Footloose boots, because he was saying that these aren't that special.
On the podcast, he said they weren't special. Yeah.
He said, but I think these are very, very special. If you I'm surprised he has the Wave Cup. He should know this is very similar to the Wave Cup. It's very similar to an old Rebula. Everybody's been saying that.
Oh, they look very Rebula.
Yeah, and I will say they're not. These are closer in thickness to maybe slightly thicker than a Wave Cup, but these are really thin, much thinner than a regular Morelia. I've been enjoying the hell out of wearing these. It is I get giddy touching the ball on these because it's so nice. It is not, the leather isn't as thin as say Yadagara shoe. These are still
there's
thinner.
your Adler call.
There
it is.
There it is. I had to get them out with everybody starting to get their customs in, but this is superb. So this is I wouldn't call it a dark horse for boot of the year because it's Mizuno, so it's kind of hard to call them a dark horse anymore. But just the fit and feel on the ball in these is ridiculous. Maybe they could have made this a bit thinner, and I would have preferred an FG sole plate. A lot of people are happy with the AG. I want an FG. Boot Pundit added an extra lace hole in his, and I'm going to do the same with mine, but I don't trust myself, so I've actually got a buddy now who does customs, and I'm going to send these off to him.
Nice.
Which reminds me, I can't say where I got them from. There's one boot I did get in this week that I didn't mention that I can do on members only. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
But these are fantastic. I love these. It's so much so that I'm tempted to get another pair. I can't tell. I've heard rumors that this will become an inline model. I'm not 100% sure the veracity of those rumors, so we'll see. I guess we'll find out within the next few months. Again, the laces are garbage.
Terrible.
This is unacceptable. And the other bone I've got to kind of pick, the tongue has lots of padding. Footloose Boots is here now.
Footloose Boots, you've been called out.
Yeah. Yeah. Justin's. It's funny how you love them, and Footloose Boots was like, "Why do these even exist? They exist because they're incredible."
If you'd like the contrary opinion after you've obviously watched us or gone off the live, go and check out the Bootcast podcast. They
Mm-hmm.
had Footloose Boots on as a guest this week, who
Mm-hmm.
has the collection as well. It's well worth listening to them go through kind of
Yeah,
their thoughts on
absolutely.
them. And also Justin getting very excited about the Mizuno Alpha, as well as getting very upset about the
Mm-hmm.
laces, which is completely justified.
Hey, I just found them unremarkable. It's a wave cup. It's a modern wave cup. But I will say the other thing Mizuno needs to be smacked down for on this is this sole plate. Like, it's a good sole plate, right? And even on harder ground, this has been great. This is a pretty inexpensive sole plate. We know this. It's found on, like, what is the Alpha Takedown in AG in the US is like $140.
Yeah. The Alpha AG, the
Yeah.
Alpha like Elite AG is
Mhm.
so cheap.
Like, even in Japan, this is really expensive.
Right.
So, like, the fact that, well, relatively, but like the fact that they're using such a cheap sole plate on such an expensive boot, like, I think that's a bit much. So, oh, Clippy, welcome to Starting 11.
The FOMO has got Clippy. He can't like he's we've spoken too much about all of the videos I uploaded, and Clippy's now like, oh my god, I gotta see this. Thank you, Clippy. Much appreciated. Welcome,
Yeah,
sir.
so yeah, Chris Wang saying I heard from another reviewer the AG Soul Plate said it was the same money as the same as the Aurelia Pro AG and wasn't worth the money. Yeah, and Footloose Boots, you make a great point, and I mentioned this in my reel. You slap a wave cup tooling on this, these would be incredible. So it is very frustrating. I would love, and I got my fingers crossed that they'll maybe do an FG Soul Plate that's worthy of this upper. Because right now, having this sole plate is just like, oh, look how expensive all this boot is. And again, there's nothing wrong with having this, but like putting this on there makes it way cheaper in comparison. And again, the fact that we've got these laces, they couldn't even, like put the Zero Glide laces on these to make it that bit nicer.
I did think that about this whole pack in general. I was like, surely that's something where you would be like, okay, let's put the Zero Glide into everything.
Yeah.
Like
They
that
should.
would be like, how
And
much would
like,
that cost them realistically to just elevate all of those
no,
boots? Like barely anything.
yeah, and that's the frustrating thing is this is kind of where I think Mizuno is cutting corners and trying to charge more. Like these now I will say in Japan these sold out immediately. Some stores were managed to like restock in some sizes. Those sizes have sold out again. So Mizuno itself still has plenty of stock for themselves, but like this is the one that everybody seemed to go for immediately. So I don't know. I absolutely love this boot, but it is a frustrating boot in a lot of ways because that sole plate just means it could have been so much more. So,
Yeah, could
and
have been
actually, my
could have been a
review
lot
will be
better.
coming up soon because I've got to do so many reviews now. It's ridiculous. That Addy Zero release, that seems to be coming. It's just like, all right, I guess I've got something else to do. I was even without that stuff and without this pack, gosh.
It's another reason why
Anyways,
I didn't get anything from the pack, to be honest, because
yeah.
I got reviews up to here, and then I know obviously there's Addy Zero remakes, there's a new Phantom, there's
Mm-hmm.
there's probably a new F50. Like it's all gonna start to rack up
Yeah.
really quickly. So
I basically need to do one review a week for like the next 2.5 months, if not longer now.
yeah,
So,
no, I'm on kind of a similar time scale, but I think 2 reviews a week,
yeah,
which is tough.
that's very tough.
Anyway,
Uh,
moving on to what I assume is the like the most
the
wanted boot
yeah,
in the
yeah.
pack.
This is the other one that sold out almost immediately. Again, this got restocked and then sold through. Um, I do really like the idea of having this Alpha Soul Plate on the beta. J Mike
Absolutely.
was going nuts because this is what he's been banging on about for years. Um, I'm not a massive fan of the beta itself, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a really good boot, and it's very comfortable, and the performance was already there, but having this now is going to make it that much nicer. I'm wondering, like, my problem with the Neo series is it always feels slightly too long. I have done like a full size down, a half size down, which is the best size for me, but like half size down, even though my toes are at the end, even when playing in them, it just feels too long. And
Okay.
I think that's partially because of the way that sole plate is. And I'm hoping like that's kind of fixed because the alpha sole plate didn't feel too long. Well, except in the new alpha, it just feels too tall. But
Yeah.
like the beta, obviously, you're getting the kangaroo leather, which is superb. You've got the knit midfoot, which I actually think the regular Neo has a better midfoot, but like I'm not a massive fan of having knit. So there is that. But yeah, these also very comfortable. Oh, and there is another detail that kind of annoys me. So in the past on the size tag, I'll bring these back out. In the past on the size tag, right here, it would say made in Japan below.
Okay.
Now it's a sticker on the back.
Oh.
That's kind of like you putting a sticker on something kind of feels cheaper. Like
Definitely.
why would you do that? You know, it's just a bizarre decision. Like just some really bizarre decisions on this. And this again, this is pretty expensive. This is now more expensive than FT Predator here, which was the most expensive inline boot.
Okay.
And again, we get these chunky laces rather than Zero Glide.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't sell Zero Glide overseas, so just do it. Especially as much as you're charging overseas for these, put the Zero Glide in it. It might cost you at most maybe an extra euro.
I was going to say I would
But
assume like $1.50 a boot
yeah,
to
exactly.
put the Zero Glide in.
Yeah. And yeah, that's like it's we mentioned this before. The front post brings up a good point for an innovation pack. It's just soul swaps and a couple of things. Like it should have been like
Innovation
the
is a poor
remix
word.
pack. Yeah,
Yeah.
it should have been like remix pack. It's right
Hmm.
there. Rebuild, remix, perfect. It
Yeah.
goes together. And we already had a Wagyu Morelia before. I'm not sure why that exists. Like the Montecito, which apparently the Montecito might be Wagyu as well.
Okay.
Um, and the description just says Japanese leather, but it doesn't
Right.
say Japanese cow leather. But some sites also say Japanese leather for the Morelia. So it's
Mm.
like, okay, the Montecito makes sense. It's made in Japan. They don't make Montecitos in Japan anymore.
Yeah, it makes
But
a lot of sense.
like this makes sense. But like then doing the opposite with the Alpha doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. You know, I don't know. There's a lot of unneeded stuff with this pack. I guess this is just how feelings about Mizuno, like for me personally, have changed over the years. You know, they still make amazing stuff. Don't get me wrong, and this is still an amazing boot. I personally am not a huge fan of, but a lot of people are going to absolutely love this. You know, Matt Burns was talking about how much he loved this boot, and so was Footloose Boots. So, you know, we'll see. I'm sure this is still going to get a great review, but like, you know, like objectively, you can say this is awesome boot, but for me personally, it's kind of not my thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
The I suppose my counterpoint outside of marketing to what kind of front posters said, which I agree, like it's soul swaps and Wagyu Morelia and things like that.
mm-hmm.
I would much rather see that than see another colorway. So, for example, like
Yeah,
obviously, what like you look at like Nike, Adidas, like any brand,
mm-hmm.
like you're bringing out all of these different packs and colorways. Well, I would much rather see, albeit like for some janky marketing because you've got
Mm-hmm.
like, or they call it innovation when realistically it should be rework. I would much rather see, let's take Nike for example, them go and whack a mercurial soul plate into a Tiempo and put, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like actually
yeah,
do something that's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
genuinely different,
yeah,
that is interesting. So
yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
think there are definite downsides. One being it's marketed a bit odd. Two being that some of the products, particularly obviously the reverse of what's in your hand there, um, seem to
Kind
be
of don't
very
make sense.
odd
Yeah,
choices that don't make
yeah,
sense. But I'd rather something that was different that didn't make sense than just oh, hey, here's another Puma Ultra in white with a bit of color on it. Like, I think there's
Yeah,
something to be said for at
yeah.
least that.
Yeah, and I think maybe because I'm a little jaded, it's not hitting as heavy as it should.
Mm.
But no, that's a very good point. And they brought it up on the Bootcast pod, which you should absolutely go watch. They did a great talk about this, about how nice it is and how different it is. And Mizuno is very good at not overwhelming us with colorway packs and stuff. And they're at least trying something, so they do deserve a lot of credit for trying stuff.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you're right. At the same time, we still should point out the things that they're doing badly. Like it doesn't.
Oh
They
yeah,
don't get a
yeah,
free pass just for trying
yeah.
something.
Sure,
They've still got
sure.
dodgy laces and things that don't make sense.
Yeah.
But I think we have to at the same time recognize the positive, I suppose.
Yeah, and like I said, people are going to absolutely love these, I think. So, Chris Wang asking if you might be able to get a pair. They might still be able to get some in stores. I'll find out. I'm going to be running around Osaka again later this month with somebody very well known in this space. But yeah, and I guess getting them in hand, I feel a lot more positive than I did when I just saw them. I was like, okay, it's just this. And so I have to credit also the Bootcast pod guys for like kind of bringing back my excitement a bit more for these. Because like the problem is I have so many boots to review right now. I'm just going to bring these out because it'll make Footloose Boots happy. Like I've got to review these, for example, right? And
Yeah.
I've been waiting to review these for a long time because everybody's so hyped. None more like Footloose Boots should honestly have a lifetime contract from Under Armour at this point. But like it's been like, oh, I need to rush through all these reviews. I've got all the TLS boots here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like the fact that the Bootcast guys were so hype on these, like it really kind of takes me back. I'm like, okay, I'm starting to really appreciate this release a bit more. Like even as I'm talking and reminding myself of this, I'm like, actually, this is pretty remarkable. So there is that. Now,
Yeah,
give
no,
me.
I agree, and I enjoy the Bootcast podcast generally, but I also enjoy it as sometimes almost a counterpoint to us as miserable old folk who complain about everything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We're like partially dead inside, so that doesn't help.
Yeah, exactly. Where the Bootcast lads are way more positive than we are, and I appreciate that a lot. Clippy makes a good point kind of on that same topic about like Nike, like when Nike did TechCraft. Yeah. Like they didn't always nail TechCraft, but it's a great idea.
They at least did something.
You at least did something for sure. Rich has a question that would be for you, Andrew. I've read and heard a few different stories of the Monocedas. Are they just a wide Morelia Neo, or are they a takedown of the Morelia Neo? What are they and how are they positioned?
They're seen as kind of like somewhat of a takedown of the Morelia Neo. Now, I will say, even though they use the Morelia Neo sole plate, maybe I shouldn't have shipped one off. I've had several people order pairs through me. For some reason, that boot fits me way better than the Morelia Neo.
Interesting.
Just fits better. The heel is definitely better. I will say that. It feels more solid. The leather's a little bit thicker, and it's not always as nice because they don't always do a made in Japan model. But for me, performance overall in that shoe is better than the Neo for me.
Nice.
The Morelia Neo. So, yeah.
I just put up for, again, it's a different product entirely, but I just put up for members my review today of the Monoceda Neo 3 Pro, the synthetic.
Yeah, even the Pro's pretty nice. Like
it's a nice boot. It's a very nice boot.
It's nice. It's nicer than it has any right to be.
Yes, the sole plate is fantastic for that kind of like price point. The sole plate really impressed me with how just how solid it is. Like it's a really well built sole plate. The upper is fine. It's nothing exceptional, but it's absolutely fine. And then you mentioned the heel. The heel fit in that, even in the Pro, is fantastic. It's a really well designed heel. Unfortunately, part of the recording all got messed up, so I didn't highlight it as much as I should have done in the review. Really, I maybe should have re-recorded that section. But yeah, the heel on the on that is amazing. So a lot of love for that.
Yeah. The Monocedas are excellent. If there's like a billion pairs available over here. It's like Mizuno made limited quantities of all this stuff, and then the Montecito, which is going to be their true seller from this entire pack. It's,
Yeah, they just made
people,
loads of them.
they made loads. They're everywhere. So I might just end up having to grab a pair just to play around. I have a Montecito review up of the 2s, and the 3s, they haven't changed besides the sole plate. So,
oh, there you go.
But I was very positive on the 2s, and again, I like them better than the Morelia Neo. So
there you go. Front post saying a Pred Cop X. Yeah, again, similar concept, like something a bit different. And he said, makes a good point. They did that at a time when it was kind of the worst versions of the silos. If you imagine what they could do now with a Pred Cop X, that would be very impressive. Like would it be a Pred Cop F50 or something, like Pred Cop 50? Like it would be that they could do some really nice stuff.
I think it's funny, by the way. It reminds me of the Copa Sense. If you notice, like, the Copa Sense is still everywhere. Like, every reseller has them. They're all over eBay. They're all over the resale market here. Like, I think in like 6 or 7 years from now, people are going to still be able to get a brand new pair pretty easily. That's just a nightmare that won't end. I remember the team I was playing on, the goalkeeper was like, "Oh, I saw there's that new Copa Sense out. Like, I'm thinking of getting them." And I'm like, "Don't do it. They're terrible.
Don't do that."
And then I remember when they started marking them down really heavily here, it's like, "Oh, should I get them now?" I'm like, "No, it's not worth it. Trust me."
Still no.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So yeah, these again, I'd like to bring these back out. I absolutely love these. These are like my new babies. So they're yeah. Just give me a better sole plate. Give me that Wave Cup sole plate, and these would be like amazing, because everything else is just so good on these. I am genuinely giddy when I wear these, just because of how good the touch on the ball is. Everything still feels so effortless to me. So
nice.
Yeah.
They do look pretty fantastic, to be fair.
I
really like the there's something about that Rebula stitching pattern that really like speaks to me.
Good. Yeah.
Like every time I see it, I'm like, that looks so nice. Like even
Yeah.
when they did it on the Rebula and things like that, I was like, oh, it looks so good.
Front post, let's never bring up the Copa Sense ever again. Yeah. So yeah, the rebuild pack, like, again, I'm way more positive on it. Gotta thank the Bootcast guys for that. So
although Footloose Boots makes a great point, we haven't made a bazooka to kill a bee comparison yet.
Yeah,
on
that's
this
true.
Podcast. Justin, that was fantastic. Had me dying. Dear.
Yeah. Neil Williams, are you going to review the Asics? These are DS Lite Pro AG gel boots when you get the chance. Maybe. I've already done the DS Lite Pro, and the problem is, like, right now I'm not playing on a team, so it's hard for me to have access to an AG pitch. So I guess what I could do is, we've got these. This is where my wear testing, like, is different from a lot of people when I try and do wear testing for brands, because we have some terrible pitches here. Absolutely terrible pitches. And I try not to do most of my reviews on those. One, because I don't want to ruin the boots. And two, because, like, most of the time, even the grass pitch I play on is still fairly hard. So we get, it's decent for that. But for wear testing, I've got to start using that pitch more, and it's so bad.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun at all.
The silhouette of with that toe box looks incredible. The toe box is absurd. Like, it's not overly rounded, but it just fits so well. It's just such a nice boot. Again, it could be stiffer, but I'm getting grass all over the floor here. My wife's not going to be happy. But yeah, I absolutely love these boots. These are, in spite of this sole plate, these will be somewhere. I feel like these will be somewhere on the top 5 of the year. So, bold claims, but
I love a bold, like, boot of the year claim. I made that claim like three times last year. Oh no, I'm back. I'm back. Oh, I'm gone again. I'm back again. There we go. Here we go.
Yeah, it does have a lower toe box and shape compared to the Morelia. So, yeah, I'd say this is much lower volume than a Morelia as well. so you don't feel like some people complain that the Morelia feels a little bulky at times, as amazing as that sounds for that boot.
Mm.
But yeah, this is definitely way more weighed down. And I would have gotten the Morelia, but I mean, it's obvious there's a new Morelia coming.
Yeah,
It's the
there is
40th
one around
anniversary.
the corner.
Yeah, it has to be around the corner. I mean, Mizuno just put up a teaser about the 40th anniversary on their Instagram. So
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah. So yeah, Pack. I'm way more hyped on it than I was. It's great stuff overall. Again, people are gonna love these. These will be in review next week.
Nice.
So hopefully we get those out quickly. And then I might have to do a TLSS boot after that because it looks like they're launching globally soon.
Well, see, this was the thing. So with the TLSS, I didn't rush the reviews. I rushed the production of it in the end to get them out, because I'm like, I want to get these out before they officially kind of go worldwide with their shipping and things. So I obviously dropped my Striker review last week, and then my Libero review will go up on Tuesday, because I just moved everything around because I was like, get these TLSS reviews out.
It's funny because I guess we can talk about TLSS for a little bit because I brought them along.
I did not bring mine along, but you've got yours.
No, sorry. Like this, I thought the Tactician was. This will probably still be the one I end up vibing with the most, just because it's a leather. But I'm also very excited about wearing the Libero, just because like I do have a soft spot for laceless boots. We'll see how it goes in play, but I don't know. Yeah, it's very exciting overall. I love seeing a new brand trying stuff. So
I filmed my Libero review before my Striker review, but my Striker review ended up going up first, and then I obviously edited the Libero review. I put it up, and then I watched back both of them in the last couple of days, and I'm like, damn, I am way harsher on the Libero, and I don't disagree. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you look at your own stuff and I'm like, was I? And then I'm like, actually, no. Like, but again, it's different. There's a little bit of difference of preference in there, and I think I even said that in the Libero review, that very much it's just not for me. Like, I think the Libero has more premium elements than the Striker.
Yeah,
but
the Striker's kind of like a mid-tier boot for them.
But I much prefer the Striker. Like, I would wear the Striker over the Libero every day. And I think part of the problem is just general my preference. I prefer the Striker over the Libero. And I think the other issue is that I got the AG sole plate, or the MG sole plate, on the Libero.
Yeah.
And I have issues with the MG sole plate. Like, the stud pattern is great, but the plate itself I don't think is fantastic. And mine, I don't know what yours is like, but mine has like, there's almost like little bits of glue, like the kind of around it, where it just doesn't look like it's been bonded like cleanly. It's bonded properly, but it's just not. It doesn't look like it's been put together with the highest quality, shall we say?
The Striker, or the Libero?
My Libero on the MG plate.
Oh, okay.
So obviously I have the reverse to what you have.
No, there's definitely a few, not a lot.
Yeah, no, mine. There's a couple of points on mine where it's very noticeable. So I was a bit like,
It's difficult with them because obviously their price points are way cheaper than a lot of other brands. But
this is the thing. Like, if the price points genuinely come in at around 100 to 130 euros, I have zero complaints.
Yeah.
If they try and market them at 200 euros, then I've got a problem.
Yeah, I think that's part of the issue, is they're positioning themselves as elite level boots for non-elite level prices, which is great. But I think part of that, we think elite level boots, and then we're going, okay, there's some things here that doesn't feel very elite level, and then then you have to remind yourself, okay, actually the pricing's absurd.
The pricing, yeah.
You can give them a little bit of grace, and
absolutely,
and it's their first go, so
yeah, absolutely. I'm still very positive on the Striker. Very positive on the Striker.
I'm just really excited to review these. But there are some issues. Obviously, the Carvo. This isn't just limited to TLSS. Like you've mentioned before, that the Carvo and the Adler just bends in a bit of a weird spot, and like they could do some cutouts here in the Carvo, and that would help flex better.
Absolutely.
I had to bring up Adler again, of course. Edward Demet. J Mike was so positive about the Montecito in his Instagram post, and he said it was MIJ, then it would be game over, and now it is so. He may or may not have a pair coming. I cannot confirm or deny.
I cannot confirm nor deny that I have been in contact with J Mike about him potentially getting a pair of Montecitos.
Let's just say he not so subtly dropped hints to me about it, and I was like, I can help you.
Clippy says Tajin Laceless does seem like an interesting combination. It is, but I would say that it's not Tajin like you think, like you're thinking of Tajin.
It's not.
Like, so the striker is Tajin like you're thinking of Tajin on the Vapor 10, but it's a bit thicker. Whereas the Libero is almost, for me at least, I think the Libero is a synthetic leather Tajin synthetic. It's got like more of a leather-like quality to it. There's even a little bit of leather grain in it. It's a very different Tajin to something else.
See that?
Yeah.
You can almost see the graining there.
So they've definitely lent into like a synthetic leather vibe with the Libero, which is one of the reasons I think it feels more premium. It just feels like a more premium upper.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
wow, we're actually
look at us go.
Wow,
45 minutes. What has happened?
This is ridiculous. I think we haven't got as
going
many,
on.
Questions. Ask Wizard, but can you talk about the sizing of TLSS compared to ASICS, Mizuno, others? I went true to size on everything. That seems to be the way to go. But obviously, I need to test them first. I've just tried them on. Like, I've tried everything on, but I have not gone out and run out in them. Obviously, because I'm trying to focus on everything else I'm reviewing right now. So,
but yeah, so Billy, so essentially what Billy asked me was he was interested in getting the TLSS and he's comparing it to the ASICs and kind of what you would do between the two. So I said that I went half down in the ASICs, the DS Lite, X-Fly Pro 3, the X-Fly 5, everything. So I went half down in all of those, and I went true to size in the TLSS, which I'm assuming is the same for you. The only difference is the Acros, where we've both gone with a true to size boot as well.
Any tier gets you the members only stream front post.
Any tier, my friend, any tier. The entry level tier, so the subs bench gets you essentially access to that and a couple of like live stream unboxings that I do, and then the starting 11 gets you access to everything, including all the advanced content and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, discounts on grip socks, that kind of good stuff.
All that lovely stuff. Oh,
speaking of,
Apex sent me some grip socks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I totally forgot to bring them, but yeah, they loaded me up, and I said, "Hey, you sent me several pairs," and they said, "Yeah, sending to Japan with just one pair is a bit silly." I did wear.
I do love the Apex guys; they're so nice.
Oh, not Apex. That was Advantage. I apologize.
Oh, Advantage.
I was thinking Apex because also
you got the Apex pants.
The pants are, oh my gosh, they're so good. They're so good. Yes, they're expensive, but they're like the best training pants on the market by far.
Members only discount code for the members for the Apex pants does exist.
But the Advantage socks, I actually wore them my first time out wearing these.
How did you find them?
I was actually pretty impressed. I looked at them and I was like, all right, you kind of know what something's going to be like. And then I put them on.
You have a rough idea.
Yeah, I put them on. I was like, wow, these are very comfortable.
Yeah, so for me, I put them in my like middle tier, but the top end. So they're like they're a crew sock with some grips, but they've got a good material, and the grip itself is insanely grippy. Like that works. So yeah, I couldn't go any higher than that kind of middle tier for the regular one, but I think they're an excellent example of a crew sock with silicone elements. So I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
That's pretty good going.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with those. Again, we have a discount code for those as well, just in case you're wondering.
Yay! Welcome to the Subs Bench Front Post.
Welcome to the Subs Bench Front Post. We're almost at so many members now that I'm gonna have to have like additional Subs Bench people. We're gonna have like reserves as well.
Yeah, right.
Do we have anything else that we would like to discuss with the general world, or would we like to do a switchy
before we
over?
Move to the members only stuff? Footloose Boots, you're wrong and I'm right, and that's just how the world works.
Footloose Boots can do members, so it's fine. You can keep telling him that.
No. I actually appreciated his thoughts on it. I was surprised, but I appreciated his thoughts on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry. Like I said, for any boot you buy, don't just listen to me. Don't just listen to James. Watch as many reviews as possible. It supports as many people as possible, and you get a more rounded view of what people think of a product.
Absolutely. And with that, go and check out this week's Bootcast podcast. It's a really good one. I really enjoyed it. So go check that out. In the meantime, get subscribed here to this here channel, like this video, and head over to Lockhart Boot Blog and check out his Instagram and also reviews. There will be many coming up as Andrew is absolutely snowed under.
I am. It's only getting worse.
Right. So with that, thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you all next week. And I'm going to not very smoothly at all, switch this over to members, all channel members.